In both Louisiana and North Texas now struggling to heal after the two massacres that took the lives of a total of 8 police officers. And last we heard, another one is still in critical condition in Louisiana. Veronica Sites is a grief counselor here in Dallas, and she joins me now to talk about how communities and families and people can just work together to move forward after this sort of thing. Good morning, Veronica.
Good morning.
I was talking. My wife yesterday went out with a friend of hers. They were gone all day, and they heard about the shootings in Louisiana. My wife said that her friend was really visibly upset, really terribly moved by this, and I think we all are. And it's just, you know, if you're a family member of somebody who's murdered, that's one thing that the rest of us cannot and hopefully will not ever be able to fully comprehend. But on another level, we're all suffering from grief at this point, perhaps at a much lower level, but certainly we're dealing with it internally and mostly personally. What kind of general advice can you give us?
Well, right now, what the audience needs to understand, that under the circumstances, what we are going through as a nation is completely normal, because it's more than grief. It's very stressful. It is a circumstance where these are peace officers that are being attacked, and when that happens, these are the people that protect and defend our city, and so residents have a higher stress level. One very, very important thing for the listeners to really understand is, one, it is okay, and I strongly encourage that they do seek the assistance and support of critical stress management. These are, in the Louisiana area, they're going to have set up in response very much like we do here in Dallas. This week, they're going to start to hear a little bit more about community debriefings for those that were witness to. Anybody that's impacted, even if you were not there, if your stress level is increased in any manner, it is more than grief, and neglect can lead to further problems. What you want to do on the front end right now is go ahead and be aware, but take action, because wellness in yourself, for your family, and at large for the community is going to be greater and stronger when we don't neglect or don't ignore or dismiss that our need is legitimate, and we can't rate it on, well, I'm not a family that lost a member, I'm just a community, so somebody else needs it more. If the person is stressed and it is visibly impacting performance, concentration, sleep, appetite, even just being able to feel secure, these are indicators that it's time to give yourself some attention and get that care that's available.
What do you say to parents of children of all ages? I mean, all the way from toddlers up to having children who are in college. There has to come a message from the family, I think.
Well, it's very important, and it's got to be age level appropriate. Preschool, very simply, you've got to protect them. They don't understand, and keep it simple. Take your cues from the questions that they're asking, but be clear and honest that, somebody made some really bad choices that hurt people, and we're very sad. Elementary age, they're going to be asking more questions. Ask them what they've heard, and reassure them that you are, as the adults in the family, are going to do everything you can to keep the peace in your family, reinforce the strength of the family, and also reassure them that you're going to do everything for them to be safe as much as it's in your control. And just be honest. We're all shaken by this, but we're going to get through this together. High school, adolescents to college age, each is going to respond a little bit differently. Interact with the questions and answers that they have. Make sure they're getting factual information, and suggest, as a parent, especially, from the high school on, not before college, but monitor their social media, because the more exposure they have, the more it does have a long-term impact for them. Suggest to them, you may just want to do something. Don't keep watching the videos over and over, or, limit how much media is being taken in.
Yeah.
And then for college students, reach out to them, spend time with them, and, reassure them.
Yeah. It's important to put it all into perspective and understand that as horrible as these incidents are, and they certainly are, it's part of the world. It's part of life, and life is going to go on, and we're all going to, be able to be happy again.
It is, and one of the major things that we've got to keep in perspective is that what you focus on is actually going to feed your mindset and contribute to either a level of peace or a level of increased stress. And these are stressful times. However, we do have a lot of positive going on in our life, and there's many things that can be done. So just engage in those things.
Good advice. Thank you, Veronica. I appreciate your time this morning, and thanks for coming on so early, too.
Well, thank you. No problem.
Okay,
Appreciate it.
There's Veronica Sites. That's Sites. She's a grief counselor here in Dallas.